here with Janna. Janna is our District Manager at PMR for all 7 of our Tucson locations. Janna, thank you for taking a little time away from your busy day to be with us today and educate the public. So on this episode of PMR Unfiltered, we are going to be talking about authenticity and appraisal process, Janna. So what measures does PMR take to authenticate items and prevent the purchase of counterfeit goods?
That's an excellent question. One thing that separates PMR from everybody else is that we have many experts who work for us. And so we have a 3-step process that we do with every single item that comes in. The first one is going to be our magnet test, okay? We're gonna run that over any of the items, and if it sticks to it, that's not something that we can purchase.
I think I've seen that in one of your commercials. It literally goes right to the magnet. So that is just, okay, perfect.
Yes.
Go on.
And one thing that's really amazing actually about the magnet also is when we're buying bullion, we want the lens effect where it polarizes against the bullion. So you can literally take a silver bullion coin and you can run the magnet back and forth and it will follow it without sticking to it. So that's another one of our tests to ensure that the guests know that they're purchasing, pure silver or pure gold from us.
Wow, we're gonna have to show people how to do that in one of our next episodes. That's really cool. Okay, what happens then if a customer brings in a fake or misrepresented piece of jewelry or gold?
Right, so we're gonna be going through it. We're gonna use our loop and we're gonna make sure that the stamps are correct. So with Tiffany, for instance, right? The loops on a Tiffany chain, they need to be soldered. If they're not soldered, we're gonna catch that by looking at it with the loop. And then the stamp also needs to be perfect. On Rolexes, any markings need to be perfect. So if you see any fading, if you see a stamp look off or blended, then we know that that's not going to be an authentic item and we can't purchase it.
And just to reiterate, the stamp, that's going to be the Tiffany's brand. That's going to be the Rolex brand. Okay, yeah. Perfect. I didn't realize that is such a distinct way to know if it's actually real or not, is going straight to that brand and going there. Very cool. Okay.
Another step we do too is the XRF scan. We're going to use our state-of-the-art XRF scanner and we're going to scan the top 5 millimeters of the item. And by doing that, we're going to be able to know, okay, is this a really 14 karat gold item? Is this really a sterling silver item? If we scan this Tiffany piece and it scans as 40% silver, then we know this is an authentic Tiffany piece. So our XRF scanner also gives us the information that we need.
That's amazing. I've seen that in action, and I can tell you there's not a lot of places, if any, that has the state-of-the-art equipment. It is fascinating. Sometimes we did my ring once, and I probably didn't want to quite know what was in my wedding ring. I'm just kidding. But to move on, how do you handle situations where customers overestimate the value of their gemstones?
You have to be really gentle about it and just let them know what the true market is. I worked in fine jewelry for over 10 years. And while I was there, there was really high prices on a lot of items because, once again, you're paying for the overhead, right? You're paying for a work of art in a sense, right? Because the people are creating this, they're creating art. And there's a price tag that goes along with that. But unfortunately, there is so much jewelry on the market. There are so many gemstones on the market, so many diamonds on the market that we have to be realistic with the market and how things are going.
Very good. And lastly, how do you navigate difficult conversations when a customer's expectations don't really align with what we quoted them?
I can definitely understand that. I've witnessed that many times myself. And I just try to get the why behind it. Why do you feel that it's worth this much? Why do you have this expectation? And just try to figure out where they're coming from. So then that way I can help educate them on where we're at with this item and why we can't pay as high as they're expecting. If the guest expectation is really high, we're going to tell them to shop it around, get some more offers, find out what everybody else is paying. Because at the end of the day, we know that we pay the highest, so I know they're going to end up coming back to us and end up being a really, happy customer, a satisfied customer. So we encourage them to be the most educated as possible.
That's fantastic. So thank you so much. That was so much good information there, and hopefully you guys got something out of that. Thank you so much. This was another episode of PMR Unfiltered. Thank you, Janna.
Thanks.